Full sunny day here in Boulder, Colorado, home of the University of Colorado Boulder. And from Folsom Field, it is the first time in 3 weeks that Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes will take to the field after a bye week and then going into Salt Lake City to play the Utah Utes. It was an absolute, I'm not going to say thrilling because I think we're going to leave it at that. But the Arizona Wildcats travel in today from Tucson to take on the Buffs finally at Folsom Field here on this fine November 1st. Thank you all for tuning in. Kieran Walker, Jake Chow, Colby Wyatt, and John. I'm sorry, I forget your last name, my brother. Myler. Okay, my apologies, folks. Welcome into the broadcast booth here at Folsom Field, fellas. It's a gorgeous day for football, 63 degrees, a little bit of clouds that are starting to dissipate here as we approach the 4 o'clock hour. Winds are coming in at 4 miles per hour, so really shouldn't impact the game. But fellas, I mean, this is homecoming weekend as well as Halloween weekend here. It's a rare sight here at Colorado, and the Wildcats of Arizona coming in. Fellas, how we doing today?
Doing great, Kieran, and you mentioned a beautiful day, and I think a lot of the fans are soaking it in up on the hill, the Halloween weekend as well. But homecoming, if you remember last year, the Buffs took home an electric double overtime win against Baylor. We're hoping to see some more Folsom magic tonight from the Buffs.
Yeah, just right off the bat, I'm expecting a close game here, and I mean, I don't think the fans are. It's looking like we're at the Oakland Coliseum right now with this attendance, but man, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, again, the homecoming weekend, it's always a special one for CU. The fans might not be showing out quite yet, but as we get further into the night, we might be seeing some electrifying from the crowd and electrification on the field as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big weekend here for Colorado. I mean, they're currently 3-5 on the season, 1-4, I believe, 1-3 in Big 12 play, if I'm not mistaken, folks. So it's a big weekend for the Buffs finally returning to Folsom, like I said, folks, after 2 weeks. I mean, looking at the history of this matchup, fellas, Arizona, they played them last year down in Tucson on October 19th. And, I mean, it was a 34-7 victory for the Buffs, obviously with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter still on that team. And, I mean, 2024 homecoming last year was on September 21st, over 2 months ago now. But 2024 homecoming, they beat the Baylor Bears in a thriller double overtime victory. That was one heck of a game, and one that I left early, folks, from the student section. That was one of the biggest regrets of my life here at CU. That was brutal, fellas. But I mean, fellas, looking at between now and next November 2026, I mean, Colorado's, they're going to play 4 different Wildcat teams. I mean, we've got Arizona coming in here today. We got Weber State coming up, Northwestern, and K-State in 2026. And we will play the Wildcats of Kansas State Thanksgiving week, actually, in Manhattan, Kansas, folks. But I mean, fellas, we got to touch on that Utah game as much as we hate to. I mean, it's a 53-7 loss in Salt Lake City for the Buffs. I mean, coming off of a bye week, that's just something you do not want to see. I mean, John, I want to start with you. What were your thoughts on that?
So Utah absolutely
Showed CU with their run game. That was the big key of that game. They ran for 417 rush yards, and they just controlled the pace and they pounded through. So you didn't have an answer or a prayer when Utah was running so well. CU has been struggling with forever now. It's when there's a QB that can run well, they just can't defend it at all. It's borderline atrocious, I'd say. It's like the Blue Jays trying to hit Yoshinobu Yamamoto's splitter. It just doesn't happen that well. It looks embarrassing.
Be a big test for Coach Prime to see what he does coming out. One of the worst, really the worst loss of the Coach Prime era. See how he does and takes a hold of the locker room, and really see how he does and tries to flush it down the toilet, as he said.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been some questionable coach losses here in the Coach Prime era. That definitely is near the top of the list. But moving on, we got to focus on today, folks, because that's what Coach Prime likes to say in his press conferences. I mean, preview versus the Wildcats of Arizona coming into Folsom today. I mean, their run game, I mean, you look at Colorado's rushing defense, they're allowing about 2.8 yards a carry, while Arizona averaging the same on their defense. And I mean, they ranked up 130th in the FBS in terms of yards or rush yards per game. I mean, they're averaging like 217.4 and they're 133rd over the last 3 games with 250.7. I mean, Arizona, I mean, they're allowing about 5.3 yards per carry. Colorado averaging 4.2. So, I mean, it's maybe a little bit of an advantage for the Buffs there. But they're overall Colorado's rush defense, obviously, they're about the same. I mean, Jake, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts? What do you need to see today?
Yeah, I'd love to see the Buffs really capitalize on that discrepancy. You just mentioned it, that Arizona lets up over 5 yards per carry across the season. CU averages just over 4. If they can get an extra yard per rush attempt, and you're relying on those big backs that you have, like Welch and McKell, we've seen, that's going to be a huge point that I think that Coach Prime, the Buffs, and offensive coordinator Pat Shermer really need to capitalize on is run the ball down their throat.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I do kind of think Arizona has a secondary that can be tested, especially when you look at a wide receiving core that has more speed than I'd say the average wide receiving core for sure. So I do think the DBs can be tested there. I really just think something I've preached a lot is just CU still needs to find that balance, knowing when to run, when to pass, not relying on just one over the other, which has happened even both ways. And so, yeah.
That goes on the defensive side as well. Their inability to either play complementary defense in the rushing and the secondary, or vice versa. Their rushing defense, again, just needs to rebound from last week, secure the gaps, secure the edge. The magic number that they need to hold the Wildcats to is 200 or less. The Wildcats lose every single game when they rush for less 200 yards this season.
Wildcats, they've been struggling, I think, the last couple of years as well, especially entering the Big 12 conference. It is a tough conference. Not to say the Pac-12 wasn't, but, I mean, the year that they came here, my freshman year, I mean, it was a very close game, and it ended in a W for the Wildcats here at Folsom 2 years ago. Almost to the day. It took place later in November, actually. But, I mean, looking at both of these teams this season, they've had common opponents. I mean, BYU, Colorado, we forced a very close game and unfortunately lost by 3 points. Arizona, they lost in double overtime, 33-27 earlier this season. The Houston Wildcats, I mean, you go down there, Cougars, excuse me. Colorado, I mean, that was a tough loss for them, 36-20, and Arizona took an L as well, only lost by 3. And I mean, Iowa State, Colorado with an upset. Arizona could not hold on as they went down 39-14. That is one heck of a score for the Cyclones. But I mean, so they've faced a bunch of opponents who are within the conference though. So I mean, they've had similar experiences. Colorado looks like has one more win over Arizona when we're looking at all these opponents. But I mean, how's it going to translate today?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think both teams are really coming into this match kind of spotty, right? They've struggled a little bit in that Big 12 play. Colorado right now sitting at 1-4 in the Big 12, third to last, and Arizona not much better at 1-3. So I think it's going to be a big test to see who can steady the ship. Which one of these coaches can steady their ship and really push their team to this is the standard that we need to set as they move forward.
Well, I mean, we're talking about 3 opponents who have all been ranked at some point this year, right? And so it's really just about what CU and Arizona can learn from these common opponents. Because, I mean, we're not at the beginning of the season anymore. We're in like the 7th inning stretch of the season here. And so, I mean, whoever can just make the adjustments like during the weekend practice that they need to will end up being the most successful team here.
Opponents that were mentioned, BYU and Houston, those two are currently ranked. The story of Arizona's season is losing heartbreakers. Both of those Colorado scores are not even as close as they even seemed. The Houston loss was mostly a blowout, and the BYU loss, even though it was close, we couldn't quite hang on. So it comes down to steadying the ship, and it comes on to making sure the other team doesn't hang around long enough to allow a surge at the last minute.
Speaking of those surges, I mean, Arizona offensive coordinator Seth Dagey, I mean, he had this to say about Coach Prime. Take a listen.
I mean, obviously he's done tremendous work at Colorado. I think, I think in the coaching profession, he probably had a lot of doubters when he first took that job of guys that didn't think it was going to work, and obviously he's made it work. So respect to that. And, when you watch, obviously I haven't gotten a ton of information about it until now. Obviously now we're playing them and having 2 weeks to prepare I mean, you're watching every single game they've had over the last 2 years, and they were really, really good last year, and then obviously they're talented this year. So whatever he's doing, it's working. And those kids play very, very fast. They play aggressive, and they challenge you every snap, at least defensively. So, I've never gotten to meet him. Growing up as a Texas kid, you were a Cowboys fan, so you knew about him. Everybody, I had a Deion Sanders jersey growing up, and I wore a bandana when we would play, just pick up football in the weight room. So I used to wear that jersey all the time, thinking I was pretty sweet.
So as you can see, there's a lot of respect for Coach Prime around the nation, but one thing that he struggled with, and to your point, John, is closing out games, right? It feels like CU gets up 14-0, they get up those great first 2 drives, they come out the second half, they look great. You saw it against Iowa State, and you saw it against Wyoming, how they come out the locker room in the halftime, but it's really up to Coach Prime to see how he can, again, I mentioned steady the ship, but can they prevent Arizona from hanging around for too long? Can they really step on their throat, for lack of a better word, early and get the Wildcats out?
Yeah,
I think a big part of that will be how they game plan for Noah Fifita, because as we talked about, CU absolutely struggles against a mobile QB, and Fifita is a very athletic guy. He has some speed to him, but at the same time, he's also one of the most sacked QBs in the nation this year. And so that might balance things out to where they can actually contain him if his O-line isn't even given the chance to scramble out. So I'm actually really interested to see how that will play into what you're talking about.
Securing the edge for that quarterback. Removing that threat should remove the rushing threat generally from the team, really. And once again, if we can keep that team below that 200 number, it should be an easy-ish victory for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I would think that too. And I mean, you talk about mobile QBs, Jake. I mean, Caden Salter. I mean, he's proven during his time at Liberty, especially, folks. I mean, he's proven that he can be a mobile QB when he needs to be. But I mean, this season, I mean, he's had his moments where he's stepped out, but recently we really haven't seen him. So I would hope that he steps up today. But moving into Colorado's bowl outlook, I mean, obviously we're 3-5 so far this season overall. But I mean, so the bowl possibilities of making a bowl game, I mean, they're still existent. We're not ruled out yet. I mean, Colorado, they have to win 3 of their last 4 games on the remaining schedule. I mean, Arizona, they've got them today. Next week they travel to West Virginia to play them in Morgantown. Then we host the Sun Devils of Arizona State right before Thanksgiving. And I mean, they will be at Kansas State on the 29th, right after Thanksgiving Day. So, I mean, those teams, I mean, they've had West Virginia, they've been struggling so far this season. We're going to touch on that today in a few minutes, folks. And I mean, the Sun Devils, they're pretty solid as well as I mean, K-State, they're hit or miss. But I mean, what does the outlook look like to you fellas?
I think if Colorado wants to make a bowl game, this is a must-win, right? You look at where Arizona sits in the standing, only 1 win in the Big 12. This is a must-win. Look, you mentioned it, West Virginia, they got their first win today, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But then you look at Arizona State and Kansas State, who are sitting in the top half of the Big 12, and how much Colorado has struggled this season. If Colorado wants to make a bowl game, this is a must-win.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, we're talking
about Kansas State, that's a game that CU can win. They're going to be the underdogs, but they can win it. I still am kind of thinking the same thing for Arizona State, but I wouldn't be that confident in that. And so I wouldn't count on that. So what I'm saying is need to win today so that you can hopefully for the Buffs beat West Virginia and then beat Kansas State in the last week. And also I want to say I think this is, if Caden Salter wants to play for the rest of the season, I think they need to win today. I mean, he's already had a couple of bad games, and it's just 1, 2, 3 strikes, and you're out. I mean, because at what point do they forget about the bowl game and just look towards the future and see what their other QBs can do?
Absolutely. I 100% agree about today being a must-win. Because Colorado wasn't able to stack those wins early, they're going to be in a do-or-die situation week to week to week. And the probabilities of that, if you're an underdog each week and each game matters each week, at some point something's going to give. So they just need to stay secure, stay level-headed.
Biggest struggle this season so far, John. I mean, that's like their consistency is just not there. I mean, with Caden Salter at the helm, I mean, he's had some great games, but It's very inconsistent, and I mean you can't have that when you're playing playing in a conference like the Big 12 and playing against some of the tougher teams in the conference this year. I mean, but looking at we're going to move into other games around the Big 12 today, as I hinted at before. West Virginia, folks, with a huge upset against number 22 Houston on the road. I mean, what does this say? We're playing West Virginia next week. I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup for sure for the Buffs. I mean,
It's
Nothing short to say that today was a home run for West Virginia. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. And so it does kind of put more eyes to the game next week. Yeah, of the World Series. I'm fairly excited. You could say I'll be keeping track of it.
I definitely agree. I think the Big 12 is a conference of parity. Any team can compete with any team, and right now it doesn't look like any one team, maybe BYU, is running away with the conference. But we saw Arizona just a few weeks ago take them to double overtime. I think any team in the Big 12 is beatable, and they just proved it. West Virginia just proved it today against Houston.
Parity is a good word to use.
But I would also say it's a conference of chaos. Absolutely, any given week, any given team can make a huge upset, and you see these teams week in and week out. The West Virginia is just one example. We'll get down the line as we keep going, but no matter how strong the season is going, a team can just turn it on. These teams are able to reach a gear that usually you wouldn't see from the bottom tiers of most conferences. So yeah, chaos reigns, just like it is every week in the Big 12.
The Chaos Conference, I like that. Also, Baylor, I mean, speaking of that, Baylor absolutely dismantled the UCF Knights today, 33-3. We also have Arizona State. I mean, they took down the Cyclones in Iowa State. They've been struggling recently. And I mean, it was 24-19. And I mean, number 13, Texas Tech, they're holding their own, 29-14 against K-State. Oklahoma State, I mean, they lose at Kansas 24-7. Game's still going, excuse me, folks. We apologize. And I mean, tonight, Cincinnati taking on the Utah Utes at 8:15. I mean, after what happened last week, I'm really interested to see what happens with the Bearcats. They've had their moments this season, so that's going to be one heck of a matchup for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw Cincinnati sitting at the top of the Big 12 standings this year, tied at least with BYU, and Utah coming off, let's say, a monster win against CU last week. So it'll be interesting to see how Utah, a hot team right now, coming off a hot victory against a team that's undefeated in the Big 12. I think that'll be a good matchup and a good testament to see where Utah is. And I think it'll help Colorado's resume. Not that they really have much of one right now sitting with their record, but it helps their resume for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, Cincinnati, they've been really impressive this season. Obviously, we took care of business when they came into town last year. Excuse me, Colorado took care of business, rather. And, I mean, speaking of, they're taking to the field right now.
I do have to say, I always like when
You can see like the gradual improvement in a team like Cincinnati. Like they were good last year, and then we see them take the next step and be really good this year. It's just kind of cool seeing just that slow improvement throughout the years, the development of a program, if you will.
It is absolutely fascinating. As much as I made a point earlier about the chaos
To the conference, Cincinnati has strangely been one of the, if not the most consistent team over the last several weeks, especially in conference play. They just seem to each week keep themselves steady and either dominate or at least very clearly just leapfrog the field in the conference.
Absolutely. Cincinnati is an outlier in the Big 12 this season in terms of consistency, which is the point you're hitting home at, John. And I mean, so Colorado taking to the field, warming up, folks. The stadium really is empty still. I mean, maybe a couple thousand people in Folsom today. This is a rare sight, fellas, for sure. I mean, I will defend. Buff Nation. I mean, it is Halloween weekend. They're probably still on the hill, doing their thing. I mean, it's always hard. I don't know if we, during my time here, have they had I don't think we've had a home game on Halloween weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all the costumes, although
Oh yeah,
there are a flock of birds.
flock of big birds.
Yeah, there's I would say, what is that? Ironically, 6 or 7 yellow costumes have in through the section right now. So I'm excited to see what Buff Nation has for their costumes.
I just want to say though, on a brighter note, It looks like they're wearing black helmets, gray jerseys with black pants, and I'm really digging them. I don't know about you guys.
Good.
But
I mean, I like
yeah.
it's an interesting combo for sure.
It's sharp, it's clean, they look good, they look ready.
They look ready. They look ready.
We'll see if they are.
We'll see. I mean, it all comes down to kickoff in 55 minutes here at Folsom Field. But that moves us into our pick'em section, everybody's favorite section here. John, I want to start with you.
I have a fun little stat for you guys here.
Brent Brennan, the Arizona head coach, in his entire career, either with Arizona or with San Jose State, his career road record is 12-39. He's paltry on the road. He's unable to get his teams prepared to go into another team stadium and hold themselves steady. And just this season, Arizona has 0 road wins so far. Last season, they only had 1 road win. So I am predicting Colorado to eke out a victory over Arizona, hold them to those steady road rushing yards, and win the game 27-20.
Well, you know another fun
home and away
fact?
facts. The home team hasn't won Game 7 of a World Series since 2011 when the Cardinals did it. And so I think the Blue Jays are going to break that streak, and I think Arizona's going to break their streak tonight because I think they're going to win 28-24. I think they will just be able to just do just enough on offense to just get past this CU team.
Fellas, you all have close games. I'm going right down to the wire as well. 24-20, I think Colorado ekes out the win. I think Colorado starts hot, 14-0, and in their second quarter, and after that, after the first 2 drives, woes continue. I think they're going to fall apart a little bit, lock back in a little bit for the second half, orchestrate a game-winning drive to win 24-20.
Yeah, I mean, fellas, I can dog on this Colorado team all I want. I mean, they've had their ups and downs throughout the years, especially this one with Caden Salter coming in here. And I mean, Colorado is a very, very talented team. And Arizona, I mean, they've had their moments as well. But in recent years, the past 2 in particular, they've been struggling, especially as you said, John, they've been struggling on the road. But fellas, I think this is going to be a very close game. Colorado 21-17 here at Folsom on this beautiful November 1st. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's nice, comfy 63 degrees here in Boulder. Beautiful day for football. Colorado walking away with a W today to start off this month, fellas. Anyway, folks, that is going to do it for our pregame show here on Scobuff Sports. Colorado versus Arizona coming your way in 50 minutes. Stay tuned, and don't forget, you heard it here first.